Dear friends, it's hard to believe that we find ourselves at the end of this magnificent journey of Hanukkah. This 8th day, Zos Chanukah, the culmination of everything that came before it. What's our message? What's our Avoda? What is it that we're supposed to accomplish on this last day? And the Ger Rebbe, the Symbolism, says something incredibly beautiful. The Ger Rebbe explains, he says that Zos Chanukah, the 8th day of Hanukkah, is like Shmini Atzeres. It's a statement. Now, on a most basic level, okay, you could say, what's the connection? They're both the 8th, right? 8th day of Hanukkah, Zos Chanukah is the 8th day, and Shmini Atzeres is actually the 8th day from Sukkot. Shmini Atzeres is its own Yom Tov in many respects, but it's the 8th day that follows on the heels of 7 days of Sukkot. But perhaps the Symbolism is trying to teach us a deeper lesson. What is the connection between Shmini Atzeres and Zos Chanukah? So there's a beautiful Gemara. Let's go on a little bit of a detour for Shmini Atzeres first. There's a beautiful Gemara, Mesech Shabbos. The Gemara talks about the differences between the sages Shammai and Hillel. And one of the ways in which the Gemara illustrated the differences was how they related to what we'll call difficult people. And the Gemara tells the story about the 3 converts who came before Shammai, all with outrageous requests. You know, things like, I want to go ahead and convert in order to become the high priest, or things like that. And Shammai had very little tolerance for these individuals, because Shammai felt that they were insincere, and he didn't want to waste his time with these individuals. Yet Hillel always tried to understand that maybe their request, as inappropriate as it was, perhaps there was something deeper embedded in those requests, which represented some untapped holiness. Out of the 3 stories, the Gemara says the last one went as follows. A man shows up to Shammai and he says, Shammai, convert me, Geirani, convert me on the condition that you teach me Kala Torah al Regal Achos. Teach me the entire Torah, seemingly while standing on 1 foot. So Shammai, the Gemara says, Dachva ba'amas habinyan. Shammai brought a 2x4, chased the guy away. Same guy comes to Hillel. He says, Hillel, convert me on the condition that you could teach me the entire Torah, al Regal Achos, while standing on 1 foot. And what does Hillel say to the ger? No problem. You want to know the entire Torah while standing on 1 foot? V'yahavta l're'acha kamocha. Ma'adasone alecha l'chavercha lo savid. What you don't want done to yourself, don't do unto others. The entire Torah, said Hillel, is v'yahavta l're'acha kamocha. Love your fellow as you love yourself. And the great tzaddik Rabbi Yisrael of Rajin says something so beautiful. He says, what does it mean when this guy was showing up to Hillel saying, teach me the entire Torah on 1 foot? What does that mean? The Rishner says, no, that's not what he was asking. He was saying, Hillel, we have a whole bunch, Jews have a whole bunch of Yom Tov, a whole bunch of holidays. And what happens? I understand Sukkot, and I understand Pesach, and I understand Shavuos. I get it. I understand all of them. You know what the one holiday I don't understand, says the ger? Shmini Atzeres. Shmini Atzeres, I don't get it. Right? You don't have to sit in a sukkah. You don't take Daled Minim. There's not a particular mitzvah associated with it. So why do Jews have this Yom Tov of Shmini Atzeres? The Rishner says that was what the convert was asking Hillel. Teach me Kol HaTorah Kula Al Regel Achos. Not teach me the entire Torah while standing on 1 foot. Teach me everything you know about the regel, the one Yom Tov that I don't understand. What's the one Yom Tov I don't understand? Shmini Atzeres. To which Hillel responds, you want to know what Shmini Atzeres is? V'yahavta l're'acha kamocha. The Ribono Shel Olam loves so much that over the Yom Tovim, we spend so much time together, Rosh Hashanah, and Sukkot, and Yom Kippur, and Aser Simei Tshuva, and he sees that there's an Achdus, he sees that there's a unity, he sees that there's a love between one Jew and another. Hashem doesn't want that to end. Hashem doesn't want that to disbase. So what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do? He created another Yom Tov. That Yom Tov is called Shmini Atzeres. And why did Hashem create that Yom Tov? V'yahavta l're'acha kamocha. So we would love each other just a little bit more. The entire essence of Shmini Atzeres is to keep us together as a united people, is to foster and to engender and to bolster and to perpetuate and to amplify the love that we feel for one another that has been cemented over the course of Yom Tovim. And now we come full circle. Says the Sasam, says the Ger Rebbe. What's Zos Chanukah? What's the 8th day of Hanukkah? It's Shmini Atzeres. The Avoda of the 8th day of Hanukkah is v'yahavta l're'acha kamocha. To love your Jew like you love yourself. And dear friends, what is our menorah going to look like tonight on the 8th day of Hanukkah? All the branches are filled. You see, on the other nights of Hanukkah, depending on one night, there are empty branches. There are empty branches. And I think over the other nights of Hanukkah, sometimes the way we approach Yiddishkeit is that some people have a seat at the table and some people don't. Some people, their fire burns bright, they create the illuminatory power of spirituality, and others don't. There are those who are in, and there are those who are out. And it's true in spirituality, and it's also true in our friendships, and it's true with those who we invite over to our Shabbos tables, and it's true with those who we choose to socialize. There are people who are part of my chevra, people who are part of my circle, people are in the in-crowd with me, and we perceive people are in the in-crowd with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There are certain people who are holy, certain people who aren't holy, certain people who are spiritually illuminated, and others who aren't. And what happens on the last night of Hanukkah? There's a fire burning in every single branch. Every candle is lit, because the 8th day of Hanukkah is Shmini Atzeres. The 8th day of Hanukkah is V'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. The 8th day, the entire menorah, from left to right, all burns bright, symbolizing the idea that the greatest, most powerful flame that Klal Yisrael is able to generate is when we generate it together. The power of the 8th day of Hanukkah is everyone has a seat at the table. Everyone burns bright. Everyone has a beautiful power or an energy of spiritual illumination. And the sooner we acknowledge this and live like this, then the sooner we'll be zocha meretz Hashem to kindle the true menorah. See, the avoda of this 8th day is to figure out v'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. How could we love each other a little bit more? How can we be better to each other? How could we enfranchise one another? The greatest challenge of Klal Yisrael now, it's an amazing thing. It's not observance, because the truth is today you could be an observant Jew and you could do anything you want in the world. There's so much success within Klal Yisrael. Baruch Hashem, there's so much wealth within Klal Yisrael. It doesn't mean that there's not poverty or challenges, of course. But if you look at where we're holding as a people, look at the proliferation of learning. Look at the proliferation of Talmud Torah. Anything you want to learn, in any language, accessible in so many multiple mediums. So what's our challenge? Our challenge is the same challenge that it's been for 2,000 years. It's the challenge of v'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. Because whether we recognize it or not, what we so often do is if you look like me, practice like me, use the pronunciations like me, believe like me, then you're in. And if not, you're out. And we do it socially, we do it religiously, we do it hashkafically. But that's not what Klal Yisrael is. Klal Yisrael has always been a menorah that has gone from one end to the other, from left to right, and everything in between. That's Klal Yisrael. That's the beauty of Klal Yisrael. That's the multi-layered ruchnius of Klal Yisrael. And we have to figure out how to build those bonds of unity within our people. That's our avoda. That's our avoda for this 8th day of Hanukkah. And we have to be makabel upon ourselves on this 8th day, which is like Shmini Atzeres. What can I do to increase the achdus of Klal Yisrael? Maybe it's inviting someone over to my Shabbos table who I'm not really friends with, who maybe again doesn't travel in the same social circles as me, and maybe that person doesn't travel in any social circles. I'm going to reach out to that person. Or maybe he's picking up the phone because I know that someone who I'm not especially close with is struggling. But I just want them to know that even though we're not friends, you're not alone. Or maybe when you hear a chevra talking negatively about a certain group of Jews, you're going to say to yourself, first of all, I'm not going to participate in that conversation. And second of all, maybe I'm gently going to tell them, chevra, does this conversation bring Mashiach any closer or not? There are so many little ways in which we can go ahead and create v'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. The next time the opportunity for machlokas presents itself, take a deep breath and say, you know what? No, I'm not getting involved in this fight. I'm not. It's just not worth it. Maybe it is important, maybe it's not important. I'm just not getting involved in it. This is the avoda of Zos Chanukah. The menorah is complete from left to right. Every single branch is illuminated. Every Jew has holiness. Every Jew has spiritual beauty. Every Jew has the ability to shine bright. Some, you see that spiritual luminescence on their countenance, and others, like the Beis HaMikdash when the Maccabim came back, others, the spirituality is buried underneath layers and layers of rubble, but it's always there. Eighth night of Hanukkah, every branch, every Yid has a fire and has the ability to burn bright, and that's what we have to be able to focus on when we look at each other. Zos Chanukah, Shmini Atzeres, V'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. May we be zocheh Meretz Hashem on this last day of Hanukkah to do a little something to increase the achdus, to increase the unity, to increase the love within the ranks of Klal Yisrael, and in the merit of kindling the menorah left to right, in the merit of embracing Jews left to right. May we zocheh Meretz Hashem to see the Kohen Gadol kindle the menorah in our third Beis HaMikdash Shemhera B'Yameinu. Amen. Wishing everyone a lichtige Zos Chanukah.